Welcome to this video of the House of Asian Cinema. Since the beginning of the 2000s, South Korean cinema is one of the most dynamic of all Asia. The recent commercial success and in several award ceremonies and festivals of Bong Joon-Ho's Parasite is another proof of this fact. If there is no denying that South Korean cinema has been experiencing a golden age for at least 20 years now, this energy tends to obfuscate what South Korean cinema had to offer before, from the post-war to the end of the 1990s. It happens that it was during that period of time that the greatest director from the peninsula has worked. This director is Im Kwon-Taek. Im started his career as a director in 1962 with Farewell to Two Moon River, a war film on Korean War, typical of what the industry was producing back then. For more than 10 years, Im Kwon-Taek was a director with no clear style, a yes man for the studio he worked for. His main characteristic was his productivity. In 10 years, he directed no less than 46 films, mostly war and period drama. Nothing warranting the title of Best South Korean Director, not even the title of Good Director. Im Kwon-Taek himself seemed to have realized the artistic dead end he was in and decided in 1973 to do more personal films. The first step in this direction was taken when he directed the drama Weeds, also known as The Deserted Widow, for which unfortunately no reels are left. While he still maintained a high productivity, still directing openly commercial films, he progressively asserted his style and steered his career in the directions of more personal films. It was during the decade of the 80s and the 90s he would sign his most memorable work and obtain the status of Great Master of South Korean cinema. What defines Im Kwon-Taek's style in the second half of his career? Firstly, in the films he chooses to deal with. The filmmaker likes to deal with South Korean societal norms to put them in questions. Religious legacies and their places in modern society, women's positions over the ages, the importance of Confucianism and its abuses, the influence of the arts in an evolving society, Korean War's impact. He tends to focus on female characters and set its stories far from the center of power, usually in the South, from which he originally came from. From a technical point of view, he favors a light, almost pastel photography. His directing style is to the point, with careful framing and the use of elegant tracking shots. It is entirely devoted to its characters and storytelling. Through simple camera moves, he is able to hypnotize its audience and bring them where he wants from an emotional point of view to deliver the maximum dramatic impact. In a way, he can be compared to an old martial art master who would have practiced the same basic techniques all his life and would have reached a complete mastery of them. He also uses flashbacks on a regular basis. Amongst the more than 100 films-rich filmography, it is not easy to make a selection, so to help you in that regard, here is a selection of 5 of his best films. All these titles are available legally and with English subtitles on the Korean Film Archive YouTube channel, with a few other Im Kwon-Taek films, so do not hesitate to dig deeper into his filmography if you wish to. This shortlist is not ranked by order of preferences, but is given in the chronological order of production. Mandala, directed by Im in 1981, follows a Buddhist apprentice named Bupun. During his journey, he meets another monk called Jisan who impresses him for his talents to recite sutras and asks to follow him. To his surprise, Jisan refuses. Several years later, the two men meet again and Bupun finally has the opportunity to join Jisan. But his teaching is confusing, Jisan often obeying his primary instincts. Adaptation of a famous Korean bestseller, Mandala is a road movie taking place during the course of several years. It puts in question the teaching of Buddhism while keeping a vibrant spirituality. Mandala belongs to a series of films made by the filmmaker about religion in Korea alongside the Divine Bow, Come, Come, Come Upward and Fly High, Run Far. Gilsoddeum, which Im directed in 1985, has for main protagonist Hwa-young, a mature lady who has lost her son during the chaos of the Korean War. She finds back some of her hope to be reunited with him when she sees a man she thinks may be her lost child. They learn to know each other waiting for the genetic test. Based on a popular TV show originally aired in 1982, Gilsoddeum was not the first time, nor would it be the last, for the filmmaker to deal with the aftermath of the Korean War. And if such films as Jacko or The Taebaek Mountain are high-quality films as well, none of them have the same raw emotional power as the 1985 films. It synthesizes in simple human terms the trauma left by the war and the painful developments the country endured after. The Surrogate Mother was shot the following year in 1986. During the Joseon dynasty, a husband and his wife of noble descent do not manage to bear children. They hire the young Oknyo, a peasant girl, to act as their surrogate mother. First South Korean film to have won a major award in a first-rate film festival, being the Best Actress award at the Venice Film Festival, The Surrogate Mother is an illustration of the fundamentally unequal nature of the old Korean society under the dual effect of impenetrable social classes and the strict application of Confucian values. Seopyeonje has been made by him in 1993. Dong-ho is a young boy adopted by a wandering pansori singer alongside his daughter, pansori being a form of traditional Korean folk song. But with the country evolving at a hectic speed, pansori sees its popularity wane, and it makes the life of the trio harder and harder. If there is one Im Kwon-Taek film to see, it is Seopyeonje. The movie was made with a small budget as a favor to the director who had been trying to shoot it for years after he had found an unexpected commercial success with his gangster film The General's Son. To the surprise of most, it became another surprise box office hit and a cultural phenomenon, opening the door to many heated debates about modernity and tradition in South Korea. And it is well deserved, because Seopyeonje is a captivating work of art, as mesmerizing as the pansori scenes which punctuate it. It is a powerful study of what the deep nature of an artist is and how to relate to traditions and their evolutions in a country torn by violent change experienced in less than a century. In Festival, which he directed in 1996, a famous writer comes back to his native village to take part in the funeral of his mother. Following the traditional rites, the family must sit with the dead the whole night. All the latent problems in the family will surface during the ritual. Once again, deeply inscribed in the Korean traditions and a rural environment, Festival highlights the difficult intergenerational relationships in Korean families. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it will inspire you to discover further the fascinating filmography of Im Kwon-Taek. Don't hesitate to post your questions or observations in the comment section below. I will probably do another video to answer them. In the meantime, I hope to see you back soon on the House of Asian Cinema.